Hello, my name is Helen Hess. I was born Helen Isabel Ward on October the 31st, 1931. I was born in Fairbanks, Florida, which is a little town about halfway between Gainesville and Waldo. My parents were Eddie Carmel Ward and Annie Maybelle Melton Ward. The Meltons lived in the area, so I was close to a lot of family there. As my uncle tells it, I was born on Halloween night, and it was a dark, stormy night with lightning and thunder, so he's always teased me about that. My mother had 8 brothers, 4 older and 4 younger, no sisters. Poor mama. My grandfather's name was William Hezekiah Melton, and my grandmother's name was Isabel Melton. If she had a middle name, I never heard it. I was named after her. I had an older brother, Harold Eddie Ward, who was a year and a half older than me. Shortly after I was born, we moved into a little place on my grandfather's farm out in the country near Waldo. There's a story my kids and grandkids and everybody tells about me. I was about 3 years old. Well, there was a stump there, and I had a hatchet and was chopping on the stump, just hitting the stump, just chopping it. Meantime, Harold was running around the house playing. He was driving a car, and he came and he stuck his finger up on the stump. Well, when he did, I chopped the tip of his finger off. But the funny thing is, it was just the very tip of his finger. But we have a picture in the family that shows my mother with all us kids, and there's Harold with his whole arm and hand in a sling, all bandaged up and in a sling. But the funny thing is, I'm sitting there with kind of this smug grin on my face, like, I did it and I'm not sorry. We had a good life there on the farm. It was hard work. They built a little house for us on my grandfather's farm there in Waldo. And that's where we all grew up. We went to school in Waldo. In fact, I went 12 years to school in Waldo and graduated from high school there in 1949. Anyhow, during that time, I met this sailor named James Maxey. He and a group of sailors used to come over to Waldo and date some of us girls. But I met him and we fell in love and got married. And this was 1950. Shortly after we were married, he had to leave to go overseas, so I was left there with my mother. Meantime, I had the baby Brenda in April 1951. But then, toward the end of the year, James came back from overseas and was going to be stationed in San Diego. So I flew with Brenda out to San Diego to meet him. The entire time we were married, James was stationed in San Diego on a ship out of San Diego. So we were constantly back and forth to San Diego. And when he'd go overseas, I would always go back to Waldo and spend the time with my mother there and helped her out and was there for her.